Well, hello and welcome to the new channel. Let me start off by saying that I am not a healthcare professional or anything like that. This is purely kind of a diary of who I am and what my journey has been with depression, and then later figuring out it was anxiety as well. The reason why I wanted to do this was because I did a video on Nathan's Garage of where have I been, and went into my journey and battle, an ongoing journey, and it seemed to reach out to a lot of people. And if that video helped one person, then I thought there's something there. I want to do more of that to, again, help maybe just one person. And if that's the case, it's been a success. So as I say, I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm just gonna talk about my journey, and like in an Al-Anon meeting, you kind of hear things that are familiar to you or you respond to, and you can put those in your toolbox to walk your own path. So who am I to start with, I suppose? I'm Nathan Kershaw. I'm now 47 years old, originally from England, and moved to America after meeting my beautiful wife 11 years ago, who is my rock. And since I was 16, I've been on and off acting, mostly on, with varying amounts of success, but living a very meager existence. So I came over to America and actually met my wife on holiday, never really planning to move here. But things obviously transpired as they did, and we ended up getting married, and I did move here. The first couple of years were relatively successful in that field. Then things started to hit the skids, and I never really found my footing or was able to regroup and find success. At that point, we knew there was a huge issue. I'd known there had been an issue in my life with past relationships because I had a pattern, and I knew it stemmed from my childhood. So let's go there. Pretty much the earliest recollections of my mom was drinking. So she was an alcoholic. So there wasn't, really any nurturing from her mother to son. So that was a huge issue. And then my father, who's a very unconventional character, academically brilliant, but has a ton of his own issues that he never sorted out. When that happens, you pass him down, which happened to me. So from a very early age, I realized that I wasn't going to get anything from my mom. And obviously, your relationship with your father is different, and mine was again different with my own father. I started to build walls, thick walls, from a very early age, and they got thicker and taller. So I got to the point where I thought that I could only rely on myself, and nobody was getting in. And obviously you need a degree of self-reliance, but it's not all on your own. And that's how I lived my life, really. I didn't reach out for advice. I didn't draw from people's experiences. I was not living life in an efficient way at all. I was living a very meager, protected existence where nothing could really touch me, and major catastrophe could happen in the world and I'd be fine. At least that's what I told myself. So, as I say, that pattern carried on. The worst part, I think, that really built those walls tallest and deepest was I ended up going to live in Cyprus with my mother. And it all sounds really glamorous, and I did spend most days at the beach because I didn't really have a choice. Now again, sounds glamorous, and there were some really good parts to it, but I literally lived on my own and could not rely on anybody because of alcoholism and the situations that ensued there, as in a lot of sleep, unconsciousness, and a lot of stuff that went on over there that stemmed from the drinking. You can figure it out. So when I came back to England, I really was, at 16, I really was just done. Looking back, done with letting anybody in ever. So that was fine to a degree until it came to relationships. And that's a problem when people can't get in. And then stemming from this, and something that I have learnt recently, is you need to have value in yourself. And I fundamentally didn't. You need to love yourself. And I didn't. Huge problem. Huge, huge, huge problem with trying to attack the issues. So in a relationship, I would get over the infatuation stage, and then it would cool off real quick. And then I would go into self-protection mode. So that was that. I was safe on the relationship side of things. And looking back, now I realize that this entire time I was living with a large degree of depression and anxiety. And I didn't figure out the anxiety until about 6 or 8 months after the depression. I was just flatlining. I had no up emotion, no down emotion, completely flatlining like a robot, just going through every day, which isn't great for an actor. I could give my monotone monologues as a cop or something like that, and jobs are good. But anything else, major problem. So yeah, I lived my life like a robot, and I also had this thing of what I call the Kershaw smile, which is just this front that is put on by, I think, most of my family tree. They may beg to differ, and if I'm wrong, I totally accept that I'm wrong if any of my family tree watch this. But I had this thing, and my dad's got it as well. You just smile, and you've no idea what's going on behind. And behind is swirling self-doubt, self-hatred, panic, bad voices, arguments, all that. And I lived with that probably from around, I'd say 10 until 46. And one thing that my father had said was never take pills. So things came to a head when I was in bed one day, and I'd been drinking and eating junk food for probably 2 days straight and not got out of bed. And I got to the point where I thought, I don't want to get out of this bed ever. Never again do I want to walk this earth. Now, luckily for me, something in me thought, I don't know what grabbed me on the shoulder and pulled me out of that bed. I don't know to this day. But antidepressants had been suggested to me, but I thought they were like ultimate evil. But I got to the point where I thought, how can it get any worse? So I started taking them, and they really helped. Really, really helped. And then that comes around to this subject that I knew nothing about. That when a child has trauma very, very early on, it affects the way the brain develops, affects the way the brain creates, maintains, and uses its own chemicals. And it can be off. Now, if that's off, It affects you, how you are, how you go through life, how you feel about everything. And that description of the condition really fits me. And that's what I want this to be about. It's about my journey and you watching this and possibly picking stuff out that could fit you too. Again, I'm not a professional, but I've kind of like, I've intellectualized everything like I've done my entire life. I'm really good at living life from here up in the digital world, but nothing down in the analog, heart-based, feeling-based world. So as I say, that diagnosis of that cause of depression really fit me. And, and nothing has really disproved that to this day. So I was feeling better, but I still had about, if I was up for say 16 hours of the day, about 15 hours, 45 minutes would be jam-packed with arguments, constant arguments in my head with everybody, absolutely everybody. And this anxiety actually led to me quitting the acting game because I couldn't control my breathing. I would panic so bad before an audition. Couldn't control my breathing, my heart rate, so I couldn't conjure anything or even remember words. I would blank, and it was just terrible. So, that put paid to that. For now, who knows? So then went on an anti-anxiety, and that really calmed the voices. Now, still there, but I have the ability to take a step back from them, look at them, and realize that they're not real. So that really brings us up to speed on me, what I'm taking, what my diagnosis, and how I have perceived it, understood it, and I'm moving forward with it. So with this series, I'm going to be doing about 3 videos a week, I would say. And I plan on picking a subject to just talk about that I've experienced. And, I'm still walking the path of it, or have got past it and left it on the road behind me. That's the idea for this. So please stick around. It's going to be a bit all over the place, I'm quite sure, to start with. But we shall find our way. And I want this to be a good thing. I want it to help people. And definitely reply. Definitely hit the comments. Let's have a back and forth. That's a really important part of this. It's not that I won't be giving advice or anything like that, but again, if anything lines up with what I've experienced, linking up with somebody who's watching this, and a dialogue can go back and forth about the journey with that thing, then that's what this is about, and that's why I'm starting this channel. So yay, that's it. The reason why I've got this Happy Days t-shirt on is because it's part of my other channel. But that's exactly what this channel is about. It's creating happy days. They're there. I'm not going to say wherever you are, because that would be presumptive. But those days are there. And I'm going to tell you about my path to more happy days, and hopefully leading to the happiest days, if that makes any sense. So again, thank you for watching. Stick around for the series because I think it will be helpful. And I shall see you in a couple of days.